Hello, Germany, and welcome to the NRSL Coke Vanilla Cup Series race number 35 of season number 4 and the final race of the round of 8. Starting on the pole today is Mary Shelly, one of the chasers looking to find her way to Talladega, one of the three Shellys trying to do so. Yeah, all three of them. Shelly has to finish fourth or better to clinch regardless of what else happens to the rest of the field. And starting in a good spot. She'll start alongside Zach Kreller. Row number 2 sees Matt Dixon and William Duncan. Row 3, Stephen Paul III and Levi McIntire, who comes into this race 5th in the points. Going to have to get a good run and hope that one of the four drivers ahead of him either doesn't, or really doesn't finish too well, I guess, actually. It's a close battle there. Eric Powers and Jim Casella make up row number 4. And Mason Neal and Mason Powers, row number 5. Mason Neal coming off the win last week at Homestead. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Chris Washer is the points leader and only will have to finish 25th or better regardless of what else happens. You see him right there. Mary Shelly, we mentioned, is second in points, having to finish 4th or better. Eric and Rage comes in with the 3rd spot, and if he can finish 3rd or better, he will advance regardless of what else happens. Obviously, depending on what happens, that also will drop down a spot to, or some spots as well. And the defending champion, Mary Shelly, comes in as the final spot.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the engines are fired. Like I said, Mary Shelly comes in 4th. Levi McIntire, Dylan Young, Tom Shelley, the 5th through 7th there, with a chance to realistically... They are the drivers with a realistic chance of actually advancing to Talladega. Henry Powers in a must-win scenario in the 90. Pace car gets off the track cleanly. Now the question's going to be, how much do these guys pass the pace car? Going to watch Matt Dixon. Here comes Mary Shelly. And the green flag is out, and for once this weekend we actually didn't have issues with that. So Mary Shelly gets out to the race lead. Problems for Mason Neal. As Mary Shelly leads lap 1, Mason Neal sits on the pit lane. Zach Kreller tried to make a move there for the lead, and now will do so off the final corner. Mary Shelly, though, playing spectacular defense right now in that 89 car. As Zach Kreller keeps having to lift for whatever reason. Matt Dixon now to second. Or to third, I mean, now going for second. And Allie Nelson looking to clinch the 22's ride in the top 30 in points. 222 point lead coming in. And that was over the 6 actually. So Zach Kreller now to second, going for the race lead on the 89 car. Kreller looking for what would be his second win on the season should he be able to get there. Mason Neal is back out on track and is 4 laps down. Chris Washer is on the pit lane. The 5 car. Troubles for the points leader. So that shakes up the picture right now. As Mary Shelly continues to lead, Duncan right now is in second, Kreller third, Nelson fourth, and it's Stephen Paul the third now into 5th in the 33 car. We're going to watch this and see whether or not the 5 car actually retires from the race. No, he does not. Chris Washer back out on track. He's going to be 3 laps down though. Almost 4. Oh, get on track, get on track, get on track. Well, that would have been kind of expected. So Chris Washer rejoins, now 4 laps down, but still ahead of the 12 of Mason Powers. And now Chris Washer going to need some chaos to happen. Meanwhile, Mason Neal still trying to hold off the 89 car right now in 42nd spot. And William Duncan starts to catch the 89. Now we have a battle for the race lead. Duncan to the lead now in car 48. Amy Shelly going to try and retain second. Will do so for now as Allie Nelson gets passed by Stephen Paul III. That is for fourth. And Nelson starts to fall back, which not going to be too big of a deal until Jake Bassinger gets up towards the front anyway. Brandon Patterson making some moves towards the front. Currently in 8th. Looking for 7th now on Eric Powers. Been a rough season for anyone in the Roush camp. That's a team that's really looking forward to next year, I think, in all honesty. As now Amy Shelly under fight here from Zach Kreller. Max Newirth, who unfortunately had to go to the rear of the field, now going to go a lap down in 40th. As William Duncan grabs the tries to just build on his lead. Stephen Paul III now going for third. Remember, the 33 looking to advance to the Final Four in the owner's chase right now. So that's a key battle for Stephen there. Up to second now for them. I don't know what the owner's chase battle looks like, in all honesty, coming in. As Dylan Young in the 8 looks to be going a lap down now. So too is the defending champion, Mary Shelly. She's just in front of the race leader as well. Currently in the 38th position in car 38. And that begs the question, then where is the 99 running? There's the 29. There's the 90 who's in the must win. And there's the 99 Levi McIntire back in 22nd position right now. So, meanwhile, Mary Shelly and Dylan Young have both gone a lap down. Amy Shelly now has lapped the 38 car. So it's maybe not looking good for even just getting 2 Shellys into the Final Four at Talladega. As Mary Shelly's title defense has gone a very long way, and a spectacular job by Mary Shelly to try and defend her title from season number 3. It was going to be a tough ask, the fact that there were 2 different formats, in all honesty, but a spectacular job by Mary Shelly. She will return to that 38 car next year, trying to make it 2 titles in 3 years if she cannot advance to Talladega. Meanwhile, Kyle Matthews, Alex Perkle just in front of the race leader. And Kazuyoshi had to get out of the throttle. So did Kyle Matthews. Here comes Mary Shelly. She's going to put herself back on the lead lap as Amy Shelly goes for the race lead. So now Mary Shelly back on the lead lap. Can she extend that gap a little bit now over the race leader? Going to need to possibly lay the bumper to someone now, will Mary Shelly. As there are now 38 cars back on the lead lap. As looking towards the back, just trying to see what we got going on. Allie Nelson has fallen to the 10th position now. Actually to 9th is what I should say. Brandon Patterson trying to pit from 6th position now, or at least if nothing else he got turned. I think that he was trying to pit. That's what it looked like. So very curious thing there is Tom Shelley runs towards the front. Jim Casella had to get out of the throttle. And now Dylan Young trying to pass the 89 car as William Duncan looks to the outside of the 38. Not able to do anything there, and can Mary Shelly try and pass Kyle Matthews is the question, while Perkle tries to pass the 59 of Kazuyoshi. Battle for the race lead. Amy Shelly back to the lead on lap number 30. Now trying to put her sibling Mary Shelly one lap down. And will do so. So Mary Shelly back one lap down. Meanwhile, Brennan Patterson, who has fallen now to 34th. And Kazuyoshi nearly gets turned by the 89. Brennan Patterson trying to pit again. Mary Shelly has to get out of the throttle, and Stephen Paul III goes to the race lead now. Where's the 48? There he is, back in the 14th position, as Brennan Patterson has been disqualified, apparently. I'm not quite sure for what, but that's going to be a free position for the 5 of Chris Washer there. Well, that explains why he's trying to get to pit lane now. As you see, Brennan Patterson's still out there on the track, but has been disqualified, no longer being scored. Meanwhile, Dylan Young has gone around Mary Shelly for 37th position now. And Shelly trying to get to the bottom here, trying to start passing some cars again so that she can gain some spots. Very valuable spots, as Patterson's still struggling. And now we have a new second place car, as it's the 40 of Matt Dixon. Kreller now to 3rd. Amy Shelly should be able to fall in line into 4th here. Going to try and go back around the 38. Meanwhile, Mary Shelly really needing help from the other Shelly here to try and get back to the inside to try and start gaining spots again. Meanwhile, Mason Neal will go a 6th lap down. No, he's back 4 laps down, as Patterson we're finally not going to have to worry about him, I guess, because he's flipped the car. So Mason Neal actually got a lap back in all of that. Dylan Young's going to be looking to try and get a lap back, because never mind, he had to get out of the throttle. He's going to lose the positioning to Matt Dixon now. And Mary Shelly finally will get back to the inside. It's going to go for 37th here with Kyle Matthews. So that's an extra 3 points there for Mary Shelly now. As DJ Curtis has flipped. That's another position for the 5 car. Meanwhile, Henry Powers not looking all that strong, in all honesty. Chris Washer now has damage to the left side of the 5 car. And Levi McIntire is back in 24th spot. Not sure if the car's just not handling well or what, but has not made up any ground. Tom Shelley is in 8th. That is huge for the 45 team. As Henry Sanford now goes a lap down in the 33rd position. That's going to be a spot for Dylan Young, should he be able to get there. Looks like he will be able to, maybe not yet. That's actually Steven's teammate there, the 31 car, so going to try and help him out as much he can probably, but not much he can do. Now Dylan Young, though, in the 35th position. Amy Shelly still in 3rd. And Mary Shelly has gotten repassed by Kyle Matthews for 36th. As Ish Taylor, top 5 run right now for the 30 car. Mary Shelly, though, just trying to battle as hard as she can right now is what I would assume is what's going on. Meanwhile, Stephen Pollard III still trying to lap the 01 car right now. Henry Sanford goes to the outside. This is going to be a battle for 34th. That's 3 points for Dylan Young if he can get them. And with Mary Shelly having her struggles, well, Dylan Young's not going to be able to gain a whole lot of ground on Shelly. in all honesty. What Dylan's hoping for is to be able to pass the 5 car, I think. Gonna have to give up ground, though. He goes and lets Mary Shelly go on by. Well, maybe. I was thinking he was going to, but turns out not going to as much as I thought. We are past halfway. 40 laps to go here at Veltins Arena. This race 30 laps longer than the other 2 races this race weekend. As Zach Kreller hanging on to a good top 3 run right now. As Kazuyoshi now trying to battle Mason Neal. Mason Neal just trying to gain ground. That's all he's trying to do, basically. He's got a fast car, you can tell. It's just unfortunate, had problems on the start. Meanwhile, Stephen Paul III trying to lap the 01 car, who is in 33rd spot. I wonder if DJ Curtis's car just had an engine expire or something, because it doesn't show accident, even though he flipped, so. Meanwhile, Stephen Paul III loses ground as he actually gets the 31 to his inside now. Can Mary Shelly capitalize? I think she might be able to, because Stephen Paul III is getting this run off the corner. Never mind, Dylan Young goes to the inside of the 89 car. And Dylan Young's going to try and take advantage of the 33 as well and try and get his lap back. It worked for Henry Sanford, 31 car back on the lead lap. And it's going to work for Dylan Young as the 8 Budweiser Chevy gets back on the lead lap as well. And Shelly throws the block on the 89, or on the, throws the block on the 89. Mary Shelly throws the block on the 20. That's what I meant to say. Meanwhile, 35 cars back on the lead lap. Dylan Young trying to gain some spots here. It's 3 points per position right now for the 8 car. Meanwhile, Mary Shelly looking for the race lead in the, at least some capacity. Matt Dixon's going to go for 3rd. And I'm wondering if the field will actually catch cars for the 2nd or 3rd time even in this race. I was thinking it was a possibility depending on what happened, but it's not looking like it. Meanwhile, Mary Shelly and Stephen Paul III get back to the bottom here, as Matt Dixon now has caught him for make it a 3-car battle for the race lead. Meanwhile, Dylan Young is trying to pass the 31 car. This is a battle for 34th position, and he will do so. So Dylan Young up another spot. That's 3 points for him. Meanwhile, it looks like Stephen Paul III will advance to, the 33 car will advance to Talladega on the owner's chase. Looks like Mary Shelly will advance to the driver's chase. And I think the 89 car, with where they were at, will also advance to the owner's chase. So there is that as well. Meanwhile, Kazuyoshi now gets passed by the 8 of Dylan Young. That's another spot. That's another 3 points for the 8 car. Meanwhile, Mary Shelly looking for the race lead on Stephen Paul III, and will take the race lead away from the Holiday Inn Chevy. Meanwhile, Ish Taylor making some moves now, up to 4th in the Haviland Dodge, car number 30. And Kazuyoshi goes a lap down. Well, is in the process of going a lap down. Mary Shelly will complete that pass off turn number 4. And we've got 66 laps complete. Meanwhile, where are some of these other guys running right now? Levi McIntire started making some moves. He's back up to 21st. It's not looking good for Mary Shelly, in all honesty. Where's the 38? They are in 37th. They're somewhere back here. There's Mary Shelly trying to get lapped by Tom Shelly right now. Meanwhile, back up front, not a battle for the lead right now. Matt Dixon going to have to clear the lap traffic as there's one car between Mary Shelly and second place, which is now a battle as Stephen Paul III going to try and get back to second. Lost it to Matt Dixon, wants it back. I don't know where the 33 entered in owner's points right now. I don't recall back to when I recorded this, or record qualifying at least. Henry Sanford looking for 33rd on Dylan Young right now. The 31 car trying to take away some points from Dylan Young. Granted, he's not really worried about it. 31's not contending for anything right now in terms of owner's title or driver's title, so. This is a battle for the 33rd position, right in front of the race leader. And Dylan Young's going to come out the loser on that battle. Not going to give up, though, and that's going to cost him a lap. Dylan Young goes back one lap down now to the 89. And Kazuyoshi going to look to take advantage of this, possibly. Not going to be able to, and Stephen Paul III looking for second once again. And Kyle Matthews gets ousted a little bit by Zach Kreller there. And Dylan Young going to fight back on the 89 car. Shelly going to try and close the door on the 8 of Dylan Young, trying to get up, catch some more of the lap traffic. And Dylan Young going to lose a spot to Kazuyoshi out of the deal. Well, maybe not. He's going to pull the same move the 89 pulled on him. Meanwhile, Steve Pollard just in front of the leaders now starting to fall back a little bit. 31st position right now for the 27. Meanwhile, now there are 2 lap cars between the race leader and second place. Dylan Young still trying to fight with Kazuyoshi right now. This is a battle for the 34th position. And give it to the year 1 Chevy, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi. Meanwhile, Eric and Rage battling for 30th. Actually, for 29th. So Eric and Rage up to 29th position now. He's ahead of Mary Shelly, which means it's good news for him. I don't know exactly how to interpret who is going to be where right now, as there are less than 10 laps to go till we know the final 4 for the Coke Vanilla Cup Series season number 4. Ish Taylor going for 3rd now on Stephen Paul III. Finally makes that move. He's been looking for it for a while. So right now, Mary Shelly just can't get around the lap traffic right now, really, is what's going on. I'm surprised that the leaders are struggling as much as with the lap traffic as they are, because realistically, we haven't seen the leader really struggle too much with the lap traffic, especially not in Hooters yesterday. But if you're the 89 car, you have a 1 second lead. You don't really need to worry about the lap traffic. As long as the lap traffic doesn't try and get back inside of you, you're fine. As Henry Sanford makes the move for the 32nd position on Jay Stella. Meanwhile, here comes Matt Dixon, going to give it a late charge. 4 laps to go. And Kazuyoshi's going to get to the back bumper of the 89. Mary Shelly's going to make the move on the 01, or at least try to. Not able to get there. Meanwhile, I think I just saw the, 29 car starting to fall back. Back to 30th. Meanwhile, still 1 car between 1st and 2nd right now. Not to mention the car links as well. As Amy Shelly tries to hang on. White flag for Amy Shelly. 1 lap to go. And that will do it right there. Dixon up the track. And Amy Shelly can coast to victory lane. And Amy Shelly will guarantee the 89 car fights for a title at Talladega. So we've got 1 Shelly out of 3 in the chase. So the winner today, Amy Shelly by 0.8 of a second over Matt Dixon, Ish Taylor, Zach Kreller, Daniel Day, Jake Baskinger, Preston Plord, Tom Shelly, and Eric Powers. The top 10. Where on earth did the 18 of Jake Baskinger come from? Like, he was nowhere. I swear I never saw him once. Oh, Allie Nelson finished 16th. I don't know if Baskinger did enough to be able to stay alive for top 30 in owners points right now, in all honesty. Other chases, though, throughout the field. Looking for Levi McIntire, 20th. Henry Powers in 27th. That will not be enough, so he will be eliminated. Eric and Rage, 30th. Dylan Young finishes in 35th. Mary Shelly actually fell back to 38th. And that is it for the chasers. Might take a look at the 14. If it's worth actually showing, I'll air it. If not, I'd like to thank you for watching this round of the Coke Vanilla Cup Series. Subscribe if you haven't today, as we have signups right around the corner. And I'll see you next time. What happened to DJ was somewhat worth showing, I will say. As going into turn number 3, just loses traction, goes up the embankment, and up and over. DJ, just saying you jumped the cushion a little bit. Either way, with that corny joke, I'd like to thank you for watching. And here comes the final 4 that will fight it out at Talladega. And I'll see you next time.